All right, we're ready. Practice is over. First of 4 16-game blocks. Ooh, let's turn that down, not blow you right out of the audio there. That should be a little better. All right, Craig Elliott here, Bowl Stream TV, live on Bowl TV. First of 4 16-game blocks here in Dallas, the Dallas Sectional. And we're starting things off. William Penn and Hastings for the guys. Looks like Spring Hill and Midland for the ladies. They're not bowling against each other. They're bowling against the entire fields. And let's get scores up there. I think we're ready to go. So for anybody not familiar, this is Baker format. 16 games, a bowler will bowl frames 1 and 6. Another bowler will bowl frames 2 and 7, 3 and 8, and so on and so forth, until they complete one solid game of bowling. 2 games on the left lane, then they flop, 2 games on the right, then we'll have new teams come in, and then go from there. Pretty fast paced, so sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. Do some final tweaks on the scores. That looks pretty good, pretty bright right now there here on this what day is it? Saturday morning here in Dallas, the Dallas section. One of 4 sectionals. Fairview Heights, Smyrna. One up in New Jersey that's live right now. Stratford, New Jersey. So all 4 sectionals live on Bowl TV. All weekend long. Well, I saw some great action yesterday in the singles competitions. We'll go through the winners of those throughout the broadcast. Right now, this is game 1 of 16 in the opening 4-set block. 16 this afternoon, and another 32 tomorrow. So 64 total games will comprise this event. Seems like a lot of games, but you know, it's really not that bad here in the Baker format. It'll go pretty quick. We'll get the scores back up here in just a second. Just doing some final adjustments. Try to make it look nice and pretty. There we go. Hastings on 38, William Penn men on 37 for the women, Spring Hill on 39, and Midland on lane 40. And if you were with us yesterday, Ashton Anderson from Midland with 300 in qualifying. I believe she ended up leading the women's. Let's go back and take a look at those scores here real quick. You can find all the scores from all the sectionals across the country. Again, that's Smyrna, Dallas, St. Clair Bowl in Fairview Heights, Illinois, and Stratford, New Jersey. But let's take a look again. On the men's side, that was yesterday morning. Wesley Lowe, Charlie Reed, Tyler Schenk, and Joseph Grandin, the 4 qualifiers. And on the ladies' side last night, on the strength of that 300, Ashton Anderson with a 12.58 total ahead of Kristen Mashenik out of Newman, both Newman bowlers there. Caitlin Rudy from Wichita State, we saw finish up with 202. Tell you, watching her finish, she was on the live stream pair, had absolutely no clue she was in contention, and I'm not sure that she even realized it either. We also saw Abigail Goldsberry's very nice 247 to jump her up and stays 7 pins ahead of Brianna Clemmer and 9 pins ahead of Sierra Kanemoto. Brianna from Wichita, Brianna from McKendree, Sierra from Wichita. And talk about some chasers there. McKendree, Wichita, McKendree. The top 10 outside that final cut. So I would just venture a guess the teams we're going to see have a lot of success today: McKendree, Wichita, and Newman. If we just look at those scores, and Midland also with a couple of really good finishers. A lot of excitement yesterday with Ashton Anderson 300. I think that's the only 300 in any of these sectionals across the country. We had it right here in Dallas, so congratulations, Ashton. Very nicely done. Tina Long lane schedule you can get right there. Everything's on. I was just on the bull.com webpage, bull.com/sectionals. And it's all out there. Links to the live stream. Of course, you know where that's at because you're already here. But all 4 different rounds. Well, we'll get every team on this morning, I believe. That's the way it works, right? Well, today. We'll have every team on today and then every team on at least once tomorrow as well. 16 men's teams, 13 women's teams. And see another aspect in the Baker, there's no pace. You don't have to worry about the other team. You just go. Your team's on one lane. You just go and go and go. Different pattern than yesterday. Spring Hill started front 6th and back-to-back opens. And this is, without a question, the best seat in the house right now watching that stream because I'm sitting just behind the lanes and I can't even see the lanes. There's, you got all the teams standing in front of there watching, communicating. I can barely see the masking units from back here. So even the parents and fans in attendance don't have as good a look at the action as you guys and ladies do watching here on the stream. So hope you enjoy it. The chat's open. Who you rooting for? Pick your teams. We got some Midland fans out there, Spring Hill, Hastings. Come on, who's out there? William Penn. There's got to be some William Penn fans out there watching. Chime in. Let us know where you're at. And after a great jump out of the gate, front 6, Spring Hill finishes 203. All right. West Texas, Newman, Hastings, Iowa Central fans. There we go. 2:09 finish for William Penn. 3 of the last 4. And just watching the pattern and watching the other stream earlier this morning from Stratford, New Jersey. Different surface, obviously, but same pattern. Scores are going to be low to start. Got a hook. Next time. That's 3 for 3 for the leadoff bowler. For Spring Hill, it was Brooklyn, but hey, so what? And you will see some coaching strategy. They have up to 8 players on the roster that can be subbed in and out. So a lot of times you maybe, if you've got a baby splitter, left side or right side spare, you might bring in a lefty or righty to shoot that, or even a fill ball in the 10th just to keep somebody else fresh or give them a different look. Different strategy. There's some different rules that they have to keep an eye on, when you can sub them in, when you can't, or how. But the coaches know how that works. It's not their first tournament or rodeo, as they say. You know, like that could have been an opportunity. It's a tough split, the 6-7, but a right-hander's got a better opportunity to shoot that than a lefty. You will hear some of the team chants. I always kind of compare it to a high school, college softball type thing where they get the different chants going to keep the teams pumped up. Great environment here in the college sports, especially in bowling. And you college bowling fans that had a chance to go to the Hoosier, I was there a few weeks ago, and wow, jam-packed. Was there 140 some teams combined, 150, something like that, between men's and women's, and just wall-to-wall spectators and a fantastic atmosphere. Very similar to Wisconsin High School last week where I was at. No room to move, no room to talk or walk. Can't even hear yourself in the headset. Fantastic stuff. Good-looking shot for Hastings. Oh, hello, 8-pin. The ball will be right back. That was a good shot. That was a really good shot. Bowling's not always fair. Or ever, as some people would tell you. Again, 2 games on each lane, so it'll be 2 for Hastings on lane 38. Then they'll go to 37. Of course, William Penn will jump over. Same for the ladies. And then we'll bring in 4 more teams. It's going to go quick. 16-game block seems like a lot, but it's not as many. It doesn't take quite as long as you see. I mean, you're talking, what, 7-8 minutes a game? A couple hours, the 16 games is done. Spring Hill College, Midland University. These are the women's teams here competing. Ottawa, William Penn, Grand Canyon, McKendree, Iowa Central, West Texas A&M, Newman, Morningside, Wichita State, Baker, and Hastings. Obviously the favorites, you know, McKendree, Wichita State, Newman. See who's going to sneak in that 4th spot. Midland's, you know, got to have a good shot at it up there. Not familiar with a couple of other teams, but you never know. You have to bowl the games. You have to get through the full 64-game block. On the men's side, 16 teams, a full field here. Where'd it go? There's the sheet. Spring Hill, San Jose State, Grand Canyon, Morningside, Wichita, West Texas, Midland, UNLV, McKendree, Kansas Wesleyan, Southwest Christian, Iowa Central, Newman, Louisiana State, William Penn, and Hastings. And we've got Hastings and William Penn right here. And interesting how quick the momentum goes. That's the big thing you see in the Baker, momentum. I mean, Spring Hill had front six to start game one, and then they've only had, what, one strike since then? And that was Brooklyn. Frustrating game. Midland, the lefty there, that's a good looking shot. That was flush off her hand. Nicely done. Ball's got to push a little bit. No, everything's going left. Got to stay up the back of it, get the ball through the fronts, and still have enough energy to tip up into the 1-3 and carry. There's that as well. All right, Spring Hill. The anchor bowler for William Penn. Been doing exactly what an anchor bowler is supposed to do. All right, 185. Not bad. What can Hastings do here to finish up strong? How about 198 for Midland? Good solid ball game. And then they switch lanes just that quick, already in game 3. See how fast that goes? Don't blink. So here's where some of the coaching definitely comes in. They needed to be watching what's going on the pair to their left. Something else to remember is a lot of the schools you're going to see this week, next week, in the upcoming club championships and NAIA championships is coaches get paid very little, if anything. Some of them are even volunteers, so it's very impressive to see the dedication to the sport that not just the players and parents have, but the coaches, the hours they put in, the travel with these kids. For the love of the game, awesome. And there's a great shot for Hastings. This is where the old butts per square inch factor gets to be a bit cumbersome as the teams are trying to swap lanes. Just a big circle. William Penn circles around the back. Hastings sneaks around the front. Game plan. Get ready for the next 2 games. Yeah, he's thinking, why didn't I just throw that shot the first time? But another key, so as they switch lanes or even as they switch pairs, that number 1 bowler needs to be the guy that can, or lady, that can get the best read on the lanes to communicate that to the rest of the team. So you're very rarely going to see a lefty as a leadoff if you got a predominantly right-handed team. The first guy needs to just throw the test shot out there and see what you got. And you can throw shots like that. Sorry, you caught me sleeping. Game 3, watching what's happening all around. This is game 3 of the 16-game block. I know that now because it says so at the bottom of the screen. Man, that was quick. Did we just start? Seems like it. Craig Elliott here on Bowl TV as we're watching Midland and Spring Hill for the women, William Penn and Hastings for the men. Next up on these pairs, let's see if my eyes are working this morning. It's like Morningside and Louisiana State for the men. William Penn and Iowa Central Community College. For the women. Tina, I can pass that message along to our USBC crew on site and see if that's something that maybe they can rectify. Not sure who's in charge of that, but we'll pass the message. Thanks for letting us know. The ball's got a hook for Hastings. Oh, it did. Trips a 4-9. Ooh, ooh. Not so sure about that one. But it worked. So it looks like that Hastings game plan is bumping in quick and early, and it's working okay for them. Looking at 230s, 240s, if they keep this pace going. Morning, Jordan. Hope you're feeling better, resting up, getting healthy. Good morning, Stephen Lane, and everyone else out there. Judy, question, not a lot of the teams have bowling centers on campus. And there's a few. Houston does, Whitewater does. There's a couple others I'm aware. Jordan, Ashburn, you're in there. You might know some of the others that have on campus. Central Michigan, they don't have a team anymore, but they have on campus bowling. So there's some, but a lot of them are just affiliated with a local center that gives them a good break on practice. Have the kids come in and work with the youth teams. A lot of times a trade-off. And also Saginaw Valley's done in the past. They'll practice at a local center, and the kids will come in and work with the youth when they're in town on the weekends. So different ways to make it done, or to make it happen, get it done, something like that. So the girls already started game 4. Guys are wrapping up game 3. And that one looked a bit much. Hastings 228 with the strike, or with a spare here on the fill ball, and he's got it. That wasn't a 1-5, was it? Well, I sure could have been. Okay. We'll get going with game number 4. Well, good luck, Stephen Lane. Hopefully you get a chance to watch all the 4 streams happening all over the country. Again, first time it's ever happened with USBC. We're able to field crews at all 4 venues and bring just a plethora of bowling to all you great fans out there. And we started yesterday with men's and women's singles, and we're into the team. 64 Baker games over the next 2 days here. All right, 217, Spring Hill. Nice. They're going to move on to their next pair. We've got other teams headed this direction. Midland finishing up. Another strike puts them in 2-0. Very nice. That ball's got to push. Ooh, wow. Well, not a lot of rotation, so it didn't grab early. That'll work. And a big double on 10th for Midland. They're going to shoot 2-0. They can bring another girl to bowl a 10th, looks like it. Keep them loose. Why not? Never know when you're going to need to throw a shot. Just got to get a bowling ball, though, might help. $200 on the nose. Take it. All right, here we go. The men are ready. Morningside and LSU. For the women, William Penn and Spring Hill is moving out. Who else is coming in? William Penn and who we got? Iowa Central. Abby Roseberry on the team who qualified in the top 4 yesterday. All right, LSU Morningside on the left, Iowa Central, William Penn on the right. This is games 5, 6, 7, and 8. This pattern's looking somewhat similar to yesterday. I'm going to guess there's got to be a little more oil just because of the number of games. But still got to stay behind and keep the ball clean through the fronts. That's a good looking shot. See, just not quite far enough right. Still looks, 8 at that rangefinder, 7, 8. Sure looks to be where you want to be. So the coaches are watching, obviously. But they can't throw the ball for the players. They can only give them their best guess on where you should be throwing it. And that's not where you want to throw it, Abby. Just trying to get any count and didn't. You make that 310? No. See, there's still some extra push down lane. We've seen that a few times at the 310s. That ball just skates. Pretty slick oil out there. So much action, it's hard to focus on what I should be looking at, but I'll try. Keep an eye on these pairs. Looking at some of their teams, they've got the players that aren't in the lineup right now. They just doing a few stretches, calisthenics to keep loose, keep the blood flowing. So when they need to be called upon to jump in the lineup, they're ready. Morningside in the 10th. Strike last time for the anchor bowler and strike this time. 2 for 2. Doing his job. 2-13 on the open and the 10th for William Penn. Ouch. Still a good ball game. A couple pins away though. Got a McHenry Newman pairing off to the right. That's one we'll probably see later this weekend, potentially even in position round. Those are two highly touted schools. Score is pretty low though on the women's side so far. At 200, we've seen a couple 200s. Those are pretty solid. I should get the 4-game block update here before too long, and I'll share that with you all. Ball got to go. A couple shots from that two-hander that just aren't getting through the front part of the lane. Iowa Central looking to pick up the 1, 2, 4, and 8. Wow, that's not easy to do. Taking the 1-8 out of it, but she did it. And here's the opportunities in Baker. You can't give up. Got to make these single pins. Nicely done. They're on lane 39. Those add up quick. Over a 64-game block, if you miss one single pin a game, that's a lot of pins. So that's 768 pins on a 64-game block. If you miss one of those a game, yeah, I would say they add up right quick. Spare and cones, a little 200 for William Penn. little delay getting that pin reset, but nicely done by Louisiana State. Makes a spare, throws 3 quick strikes after that. That's what you got to do. Oh, that ball didn't, that was right off his hand. Caught some oil and kept on going. With that 8 pin behind the 2, you almost got to go right straight up. You know, straight up, just left a 4th arrow. I don't like hooking at this at all. Well, he's going to try. This is, I don't know. All right. Yeah, do that right there. That's what I meant. Nicely done. Abby struck in the 5th. Did she get him in the 10th as well? No, that ball was not finding any friction to make that turn. .204 Morningside. That last game, nice. Any game that's got a 2 as the first numbers, pretty good. 244 for the Newman Jets on the women's side after, all right. And McKendree went open, 208 in the 9th and 10th. They had 260s going in, step up in the 9th and end up with 2-0. So that was going to sting a little bit. I think we're going to game 7 of this 16-game block, so really quick. We're going to be at the halfway point, but we've still got a lot of bowling yet to come here. ITC men's and women's sectionals here live from USA Bowl in Dallas, Texas. On Bowl TV, I'm Craig Elliott, and we are watching Louisiana State Morningside for the men, William Penn, and Iowa Central for the women. And let me see if I got some scores to share. One of 4 sectionals going on. We got bowling in Smyrna, Tennessee, Stratford, New Jersey, Fairview Heights, Illinois. We got bowling everywhere. And for the men, Kansas Wesleyan, 216, 203, 181, 225. 825 there, 35 ahead of Wichita State. Midland Hastings, your top 4. And let's see, what's the high game for the men so far? Wow. Well, that 225 game 4 for Kansas Wesleyan. That's the high game so far on the men's side. For the women, McKendree, the leaders at 918, 192, 232, 259, 235. And they had 208 that last game. Could have been 260s. Wichita State, Newman, Midland, the top 4. So McKendree and Wichita State already starting to pull away. 268 for Wichita State game 2. Wow, the women have this pattern figured out. Check the scores at bowl.com and all the sectionals. We'll take a peek at the other ones to see if we got any other info posted. Let's take a look up to Stratford, New Jersey. They started before us. Of course, they're on the East Coast. William Patterson for the men, 298 game 4. Just had a chance at 300. They're the leaders. And Concordia leading for the women. Up there in New Jersey. Fairview Heights, Illinois. Update's not ready for them yet. Let's take a peek also. Let's go to Smyrna, Tennessee. No results posted for them either. It's all right. We're here in Dallas. We'll keep track of what's happening best we can all across the country. Men now in game number 7. And you see both teams miss right with their first shots, and that ball is going to miss left. No, it didn't. Wow, there's some oil in the middle. No doubt about that. William Penwim again pumped up. William Penn still got a solid game going. Can they get 4 in a row? Strikes in the 9th, couple in 10th, gets him in the 250s. Looks good. Hook. All right. The Yahtzee cheer, 5 in a row. Yeah, the strike will be the high game in the tournament so far through, what, 7 games, 6, 7 games now for the ladies. This is game 7. It's impressive. It's the first time I heard that one. Well, I guess it makes sense. 5 in a row is Yahtzee, 6 in a row is Forkle. William Penn is in 7th after 4. Less than 50 behind 4th place Midland, so depending on how the blog goes, this 250 game, very fortuitous to move them up in the standings early on in this event. Remember, it's 64 total games. So no chance you're going to win it in this first 16-game block, but you can definitely put yourself in a good position to have a great opportunity later today and into tomorrow. And we've got a Deadwood clear. .255. I like it. Morningside looking for 3 in a row on lane 38. Ball's got a hold. Yeah, no doubt, Ryan. The William Penn ladies, they got it figured out right now. They're making a big old move this block. And then 4-9 says, thanks. Here's your momentum. Why don't you make it? Let's pick it up. Next time. Newman and McHenry both struggling. 147 for Newman. Maybe 150s for McHenry this game. And with the move that William Penn is making, it's going to bunch up that top 4, 5, 6 teams. That's what we like to see. Let's keep it interesting all weekend long. We don't want anybody to run away and hide. Well, I'm sure the coaches will like to do that, but makes better TV if we've got things close and fun and interesting. And back-to-back splits now for William Penn after that really good start. Chris, they have not announced the patterns. They're announced after the event. Different patterns for the men and for the ladies. Some Nick Hoagland specialties, as we see at all the different USBC events. So watching the men's side, yesterday there was no question, even talking to the coaches, they played them wrong, and I'm not sure they're quite in the right spot yet today. Strategy, game planning, maybe a lineup change for Iowa Central. And let's see how they do here after that 150 of the last game. Yeah, Chris, 5-7-10 is never fun. Hopefully you picked it up. At least got a good laugh about it. We see a lot of them posted on social media when players leave them now. A lot of times it is a pretty good shot. Ball just quits as it goes through the pocket and leaves an ugly split. 166 LSU. Game 7. And 10 pins high of the Greek church. Here on 38. We got that 8 pin up there finally. You take a run at it. Let's say give the old college try. Well, this one's going to stink for William Penn. Giving away all the pins they just made up in that block. Don't forget to spring forward tomorrow. Lose that hour of sleep. I'll take a nap during the break here this afternoon to make up for it. Set your clocks accordingly before you go to bed tonight, so you don't miss any action tomorrow morning. We're back here in Dallas. Abby crosses over. Whatever works. No, that's tough for William Penn, giving back all the pins they made up. Or they picked up, what, 60, 70 pins the first 3 games and just give back 84 of them. That'll make a coach pull their hair out if they got any left at this point of the season. McKendree and Grand Canyon University coming up next for the women. Spring Hill and West Texas A&M for the men. Finish up game 8 of the block. We've got games 9, 10, 11, and 12 coming up here. The next couple of groups of teams head this direction here at USA Bowl in Dallas, Texas. ITC qualifier here. Working their way towards Lincoln, Nebraska next month for the championships. All the scores at bowl.com. Check them out. 4 streams going all across the country. All the sectionals live right here on Bowl TV this weekend. And say hi in the chat. Got any questions? Fire away. I'll do my best to answer. Games 9 through 12 coming up after team movement. And Morningside catches up here in game 8 after a couple pin spotting delays. Action continues from Dallas. Next block starting, we got Shannon O'Keefe and the McKendree Bearcats. And Jacob Butcher from the Grand Canyon University team. Jacob helping out his good buddy Ben Canfield here this weekend. Good to see Jacob here. It's funny how these great bowlers spend their downtime in a bowling center. Of course, Shannon and Jacob both actually got to compete together for Team USA down in Mexico this year, World Cup. As Jacob won the World Championship for Team USA. Shannon part of the trios team that took home the gold. And here they are again together in Dallas. Spring Hill and the West Texas Buffaloes for the men. Oh, that's left. Not going to get much of a test shot out of that one, unfortunately. He knew it. Grabbed it, pulled it. Other than that, well, the ball came back. And single pin made. Ooh, kept it close. Way to keep the coach on his toes back there. Lauren paid up for McKendree, struck her first shot. And on her second. There's a shot West Texas was looking for. You can hear their enthusiasm with that one. That was dead flush. Look out, here comes McKendree. Remember, we talked about that momentum all weekend long, and this is where you're going to see it. When you see these teams start to string strikes, they get pumped up. Brianna Clemmer in the 3 spot right now on the lineup. She made a run yesterday in singles, just one more game. I think she'd been there at 6. Just she's had a bad game in the middle. I think 155, 165, something like that, somewhere in there, that ended up finishing 5th. And only 4 women qualified, unfortunately. She made a run. go. Here comes McKendry putting up a good big game here. Tripping the 4-9. Got to take advantage of that break and jump on a strike again here after that. Those are your big momentum swingers. You get a break like that, tripping a 4, tripping a 4-9, rolling a 2-pin. Yeah, jump all over that. And you see the girls still having fun. Like Logan Pate still striking in the 1-6 spot for McKendree. And they were leading after 4. Let's see how those couple rough games in games, 7, 8 hurt them. McKendree, Wichita State, Newman, Midland, the top 4 after the first part of the block. Kansas Wesleyan, Wichita State, Midland, Hastings for the men were the top 4. And we'll have those games 5 through 8 here any second now. And it falls late. All right. And just another nice little break. Could have been a split and an open, and now it's a makeable 4-7. West Texas A&M. Strike. 9 spare, 8 spare, 9 spare here. Takes care of that nicely. Mark Scroggins, the head coach at West Texas A&M. Working with the ladies today. Not sure what all the equipment's out there. I got to believe there's probably some hustles, though, no question. 205 McKendree. Another nice game. Couple opens for West Texas. 3-bagger. Need big finish here. 69. Oh, get out of there, 10-pin. No. A little bit of power out of Spring Hill there, pulling that 9-7 off the back of the deck with authority. Some interesting colors there, that blue and green contrast. Might be a little tough to read the scores, but we'll keep you up to date on how they look. Wow, it's hard for me to even see them. The gray looks the best, but they keep changing. We'll just grind through it here. McKinney now on the right, Grand Canyon on the left, 39 and 40. Spring Hill and West Texas also flip-flop. West Texas on the left, Spring Hill on the right here. Game 11 of the 16-game morning block. GCU in the 7th. Hook. Ah. Three games in Stratford. William Patterson on the heels of that 298 game 4, still in the lead, 17-99. 168 ahead of Moorhead. Indiana Tech third, Schenectady fourth, Weber up to fifth for the men. Concordia, Sacred Heart, Schenectady, and Weber in fourth for the women. That's up in Stratford, New Jersey. Let's see if we can get some other scores from across the country. Fairview Heights, Illinois. Arizona State through 4 for the men. Vincennes, Purdue, Davenport. Calumet, probably the favorite up there, is in 4 through 4. For the women, Lindenwood, Campbellsville, Calumet, St. Ambrose. Stephen F. Austin in 7th. And where's UW Whitewater? They're in Smyrna. Let's see if we got any scores from Smyrna, Tennessee. Robert Morris, Lincoln Memorial, Emmanuel St. Francis, the top 4. Lawrence Tech, Pikeville, Union College, Whitewater's down in 9th early on. Only 3 teams for the men averaging 200. 3 for the women, St. Francis, Emmanuel, Alabama, Maryland Eastern Shore. Robert Morris, Pikeville, 4th and 5th. Those are 3 teams you expect to do quite well up there. Maryland Eastern Shore, Robert Morris, Pikeville, the ones I'm familiar with. In Smyrna, and see if we got our 8 games in here in Dallas. Not yet. Kurt, we got the first 4 games posted. We'll get the next 4 games shortly, but Wichita State men and women both doing what they do and striking a lot early on here. And we'll have both Wichita teams in the afternoon blocks, I do believe, on the broadcast. We'll double check. We sure should. Wichita for the women is team 12. We'll have them to start things off this afternoon in game number 17 with Ottawa. And for the men, all right, back up. Let's double check that. We'll have Wichita to start tomorrow morning. There we go. For the women. And the men will be starting off. No, hang on. Wrong pair. Let's get on the right lanes here. The men will have towards the end of the block this afternoon. I'm pretty sure. Don't quote me on that, but that's the way I'm reading it. Haven't made a mistake yet today. That could be the first one. Games 9 through 12 here at USA Bowl. Dallas, Texas. Iowa Central UNLV up next for the men. The final 4 games of this morning portion of the block. Wichita State, there, see, I told you I was going to make a mistake. I looked at the wrong lane assignments. Wichita State up for the women next. On the right side of your screen. So there you go, all you Shocker fans. They're coming. right, update now through 8. Kansas Wesleyan, this is the men. McHenry, Midland, Wichita State, the top 4. Not a single men's team averaging 200. 1583, so minus 17 is the top. On the women's side, McHenry, Wichita State, Midland, William Penn, the top 4. In that 116 game for William Penn. That's going to sting later. I mean, they'd easily be in third. A big gap right now. McHenry, Wichita State, 1645, 1632. There's 100 between second and third. There's already 134 pins through 8 games, as they're opening up quite the gap. As expected, so we're going to have some battles for that 3-4 spot. McHenry, Wichita State, they're on cruise control. Yeah, it's early, but to tell you what, they're going to be 200 pins ahead of the field, at least after this 16-game block, it sure feels like, if not more. And no signs of them giving up. Men pretty tight still. .240 for McHenry game 8. Is that high for the men so far? Sure looks that way. Wow. Tough scoring. Scores are updated at bowl.com. Check them out. Good looking shot. Spring Hill looking for 5 in a row. Go, 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 go. Nice. A little mini wheel on that one. Getting in deep, letting it float through the front. Nice double intent to get in the 120s there for Grand Canyon. Their final game, and the string stops at, what's that, 7 for Spring Hill. I just stopped one big split. Ouch. .187 game 12 for McKendree. Nice 245 there for Spring Hill men. Great job, guys. Last 4 games coming up. Wichita ladies coming this way. Stay tuned for more from Dallas. UNLV Iowa Central for the men. They're underway here in games 13 through 16 already in this block. Got a hook, a little late action. All right, just a 2-pin. Could have fell, could have been worse. Could have been a 2-10, 2-4-10 combo, 2-8-10, something like that. So. Saw the Iowa Central ladies earlier. How about the men? That's a nice shot. Another good shot there. Tip, there you go. Got around it just a little bit, but still worked. Dallas Leong, UNLV. Takes care of that 10 pin. Sure where the Wichita ladies are. Oh, they're still finishing up their last game. Looks like a few pair over, but they're the only ones on that pair coming up, so that'll go fast. They'll catch up. Last 4 games of the morning block here in Dallas. Here come the Shockers, start out on lane 39 their first 2 games. Sierra Kanemoto starts out a little bit left. Dallas another 10 pin. 2 for 2. Good question. There's a few teams that have mixed teams. They just don't have enough to field a full ladies team, so they're allowed to do that. Grand Canyon did that the first year, maybe the first year and a half. Now they have 2 full teams. And there was one other team I think we saw here this weekend that also has a mixed team. So it is allowed just so they can field a team. But they do compete on the men's pattern, which is a little bit different. Somehow I knew you'd be on there, Madison, rooting on your team. Only 13 women's teams here in Dallas, so there'll be a couple of times we'll have this empty pair or empty lane. They'll still bowl 2 games, 2 on each lane, just no adjoining team with them. And you know the downside of that is they're not getting a read on lane 40 while they're bowling on lane 39. So it's going to take them another shot or 2 to figure things out, more than likely. But you got to believe the teams like Wichita, they just saw what McKenna was doing on that pair. They have a pretty darn good idea where to throw the ball. Good looking shot. The ball just crept high. Well, ladies holding their own right now for UNLV. Couple of strikes there. Nicely done. Now can the men capitalize on it and put up a big game? Couple more games going this morning, Black. Everybody take a second now. Share this out there. Hit that share button just below your viewing window. Put this out there on your social media pages. And Let some bowling fans know we got a lot of fantastic bowling action from 4 venues across the country here on Bowl TV this weekend. New Jersey, Tennessee, Illinois, and of course we're here in Texas at USA Bowl in Dallas. Well, so now the pin's off the left side of the pin deck. Why not? Strike's a strike. Calling it the splash here on the telescore. Iowa Central off to your left. Oh, they had a nice line inside there a little bit, and that one left off the hand. Sydney Brummer for Wichita State, 11:57 yesterday. Missed the top 4 by 68 pins. Last year's ITC women's champion. And Sierra with the low flight 10. Keeps making no spares, though. Here, the Baker women getting pumped up. Their spare 4-bagger will run 41. -5. UNLV looking to be in the 240s. They are. It's 249 with one more strike. Nice ball game. All right, that was interesting. Nice 4-9 conversion. Kendry. 2 games to go for the men. They switch sides. Wichita ladies here in game 2 of this. Well, let's call it game 14, I guess. Game 2 of the portion of this block, and they'll go to lane 40 for their last 2 games. That ball's got to go. Nope, that was left all the way. No chance of staying right of the head pin. And the old 310, we've seen that a few hundred times this weekend. And that's the way we've seen it missed every time, sliding past that 3-pin. Ball just catches oil and just keeps on going right. No matter how much play is on these lanes, there's still OB out there. Gotta get the ball to slow down at some point. That's the key this weekend. Just a reminder, we'll tell you again before we're done, the next round starts at 1:30 practice, 1:45 marking for score. UNLV with a couple opens early on in this 15th game. Over on the men's side. And that's what your championship teams do here. The Wichita ladies open in the 7th single pin miss. Well, got to come back with a double and make up for it. And how about 3 in a row? Yeah, that's how you win tournaments right there. Pick up your teammates. Coaching staff always keeping things loose down there. Keeping the girls relaxed but focused. Yeah, everybody's strike for Wichita now. Bringing in a sub to get a couple shots in the 10th. There's a shot there, and how about that? 2:21 finish. Nicely done, ladies. Twelve game numbers are in. McHenry men. Had a big block. Game 9, 273. Game 10, 265. They're now averaging 100 and, well, let's see, not averaging. They are plus 101 over par. McHenry, Midland, Wichita State, Kansas Wesleyan, the top 4. Spring Hill is only 1 pin back for the men. Newman, William Penn, San Jose State, your top 8. For the women, McHenry still leading Wichita State in second. They were 29 pins back starting this block. William Penn, Baker now tied for third. And 57 back, Newman. Check all the scores at your leisure, bowl.com. All the sectionals with scoring updates coming in right now. Take a peek. .221 for the Shockers. That'll help the score. Said earlier, anything with a 2 in it, especially as the first digit, that's a good score. First shot at lane 40 goes left. Excuse me, third shot there. First shot for a young lady. Too much happening. I'm looking around, looking left, looking right, looking up scores. Every time there's a big cheer, you want to see what it is. Good stuff. Great times here in Dallas. Great hustle on a dead wood. Nicely done. Run down that gutter cap. Just won't fall. Who says there's no noise in bowling? Too bad we can't get a better. Well, maybe not so bad. Some of the cheers you get pretty loud. Great to see that emotion coming out on all these teams, men's and women's. You know, look what happens. The team has an open, and they come back and throw 1, 2, 3, 4 strikes after that. Pretty impressive what these Shockers can do. That's how you pick up your teammate, whether it's a split or a single pin miss or any type of open frame. You just come back and throw strikes after it. That's giving some pins away. Keep on striking. Maybe to pick up that 7-10. I'm always rooting for it, though. Nice shot on Iowa Central there. That was beautiful. Final game here in Dallas. 10th frame coming up for Wichita. Still going to shoot 2-something, 221 possible. Pretty sure she thought she threw that right, and it came back with authority. Ball's a little fast. .218, another nice game for Wichita State. Let's go take a look at the other sectional, see what the scoring's like. Bowl.com. Start up in Stratford, New Jersey. They should be just about done with their first 16-game block in Eastern time zone there. William Patterson, the leaders. Through 12, Moorhead, Weber, third, Siena, fourth. For the men, for the women, the Weber ladies up on top. Notre Dame, Sacred Heart, Concordia, fourth. Let's check Smyrna. What's happening in Smyrna, Tennessee? A lot of bowling, we know that. Through 12, Robert Morris, Lincoln Memorial, St. Francis, and Emmanuel for the men. UW Whitewater's making a charge. They're up to 5th. Bob Learns, Martin Methodist team in 8th right now. That's on the men's side. And the women, St. Francis, Scad Savannah, Alabama Birmingham, Robert Morris in 4th. Pikeville in 5th, trying to close that gap. Maryland Eastern Shore in 7th. And up in Illinois, south of Chicago, Fairview Heights. What do we have happening over there? Let's find out. Calumet went from the outside to the leaders for the men. 245, 267 games, 9 and 10. 22-93 now. Still not a men's team averaging 200 up there. Vincennes, Nebraska, Lindenwood, Arizona State, Davenport, Marion, and Purdue, your top 8. St. Ambrose making a run, trying to get up there. And on the women's, Lindenwood, St. Ambrose, Campbellsville, and Stephen F. Austin. Calumet in 5th. A couple of women's team averaging over 200. Not the men. Up in Fairview Heights. Lindenwood women only 2 games in our 200 through 12 so far, so they got something figured out. Couple strikes get Iowa Central on the 200s here this game, and there you go. Where are those Iowa Central men in the standings? Let's see. They're in 10th. West Texas A&M with the 3, 4, 6, 7, 10 conversion into 9th. McKendree shoots 204 that last game for the men. And UNLV is going to finish up for the men here this first 16 games. And we're going to break and re-oil. Scheduled start time back here again. Practice at 1:30, live for score at 1:45. Be sure to come back and join us as we enjoy these last few shots of action here. The ITC qualifier here, the road to Lincoln, Nebraska. Here at USA Bowl in Dallas, Texas. Craig Elliott here on the call. Half a game yet to go for the Lady Shockers from Wichita State. All scores will be updated at bowl.com. Be sure to check them out. Come back this afternoon, root for your favorite team. And enjoy the coverage from all over the United States here. 4 different sectionals going on Bowl TV all weekend long. Enjoy it.